One crisis is leading into the next for this administration, and the panic is palpable. They're flailing. They don't know what to do. Minneapolis, Maduro, the economic situation. And Pam Bondi is now being dumped right into the middle of it. She's Donald Trump's attorney general. Now, let me start kind of with the obvious before we get into what her latest claims are. When government spokespeople or administration officials feel compelled to blame prosecutors for taking selfies and that's why they need to be fired, you know that this is a machine in panic mode. Now, let me explain what's going on. Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, now Donald Trump's Attorney General, went on TV to justify firing 6 federal prosecutors in Minnesota, not for wrongdoing, but because they simply refused to say, we will support ICE no matter what ICE does. Bondi said one of them was busy doing a photo shoot with the New York Times while ICE was out there risking their lives, and cheerfully said, we have fired them all. Look at the self-satisfaction that she expresses as she tells us what they did.
Move on to Minnesota. You have multiple employees now that have resigned. They didn't like the fact that there's an investigation into some of these groups. We call it astroturfing. There are different groups, even crowds that you can purchase, believe it or not, which is insane. And they didn't want to be a part of this. And you need to get to the bottom of is who might be financing the instances that would be putting ICE agents' lives in jeopardy. Isn't that legitimate? That seems legitimate to me, especially in light of, an 8,000% increase in the threat level and a 1,300% increase in, attacks against these guys.
Yeah. Sean, we support Secretary Noem. We support our men and women of Homeland Security and ICE who are out there taking predators off the street every day around the country, and they're doing it in Minnesota. What happened in Minnesota? We had 6 prosecutors who suddenly decided they didn't want to support the men and women in ICE. One of them was busy doing a photo shoot with the New York Times while ICE was out there risking their lives. So they came, they said, we want to resign, but we want to use our annual leave up until April, meaning they wanted the taxpayers to pay for them to go on vacation because they decided they didn't want to support law enforcement. So
I'm pretty sure that legally you got to pay them for the time they've accrued.
the breaking news tonight, I fired them all. They're fired from the office.
I fired them all. So we are supposed to look at that and go, that is so good. Now, the backstory of this involves the killing of Renee Good. January 7th, ICE agent shoots and kills Renee Good, 37-year-old U.S. citizen, during a federal immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis. That sparks outrage. City erupts in protests. Thousands march in Minneapolis and other cities nationwide. They say we need accountability for these federal agents. Instead of de-escalating, the situation is intensified. We've got now, a week after this, another federal agent shot and wounded a man yesterday during an operation in a different part of Minneapolis. Officials say he was shot in the leg, struggling with agents and prosecutors, leaders. They're all saying this is totally heavy-handed. Local officials say that the mere presence of federal officers is unsustainable and are even describing it as an occupation. In that context, what does the Trump administration do? They want to recast the entire narrative, and it's really a study in propaganda. Instead of acknowledging there is legitimate anger over the killing and shooting of a civilian, a woman described by her family as compassionate, a mother of 3, we're hearing officials label her a lunatic. Pam Bondi said she was a domestic terrorist. They are justifying the use of deadly force. And that's why you get to moments like this on TV. Bondi defending the indefensible, pivoting from serious federal fatalities and resignations to talk about a photo shoot and we fired them all. It is panic. They are out of control, but they are trying to telegraph that they are in control. Fox News host Sean Hannity even teed up a hypothetical about classified documents to kind of try to change the subject here and says, what if something is sent that's classified? This is relating to a Washington Post reporter's house being raided. What if someone sends a classified item and the reporter has no idea that it's classified? And here is Pam Bondi's answer. And of course, the context, what Hannity should be asking is, what if an outgoing president puts classified documents in his bathroom stacked around his toilet, right? Because they don't care about classified documents when it's Trump. They only care when it's a Washington Post reporter or Biden or whoever.
I mean, I guess there could be a couple of scenarios. One, if the press was soliciting classified material purposely, and maybe that could be proven, maybe that can't be proven. Or what if something is sent that's classified and the reporter had no idea it was classified?
If the reporter had no idea it's classified, we have the right to have that returned to the Department of Justice. I cannot, and to the Department of War is where it belongs. I cannot talk about the facts of this case because right now it's just a search warrant to retrieve the information that belongs to the Department of War. But the guy who worked for the Department of War, he is in jail, and he should remain in jail.
The real issue with classified documents was Biden, never Trump. The real issue with classified documents is their contents if we don't like their contents, but it's who even has the documents if we want to strategically do verbal trapeze artistry and stuff ourselves into a hole about another issue we like to pretend to care about but really don't. This entire classified documents ruse is a way to intimidate reporters, which was part of the raid on the Washington Post reporter. And notice how missing from this entire discussion, and of course it's missing, is that Trump was caught with classified documents right around his toilet. And Pam Bondi doesn't care. It's how can we distract? How can we put the attention on somebody else? How can we defend the increasingly indefensible? The quality and confidence of Pam Bondi's apologia or apologia, depending on your preference, is being reduced because you can't keep defending the indefensible, and that's what she is trying to do.